Hi everybody, this is Justin Elliott with Elliott's Estate Sales, and today I wanted to go through my sales for 2019 in December for MERCARI. And for those of you that are not familiar with MERCARI, MERCARI is an app-based selling platform that can be accessed online and shopped online as well as your phone. For the most part, MERCARI is my favorite online selling platform. It's pretty easy to list on. The fees are pretty reasonable. They only charge 10%. If you have price checked any of the other platforms, it's anywhere between 10 and 20. It could be 25 to 30 to 40 depending on how you're advertising that item and what kind of category it's in. So we'll go ahead and get started. Now you see me, you will see me point up here, and this is going to be where I'm going to put the item that I am talking about. If I skip a date, it is because I did not have any sales on it. And I'll try to let you know whether I had sales that day. And if not, then if I skip the date, then you'll know why. December 3rd, my first sale of the month on MERCARI platform was a Coach black leather slim handled purse. And it did sell for $55. My purchase price on this item was $3.50. It did cost $7.84 to send it out. And so I had about $12 in it, give or take. It was a profit of about $44. The December 4th was my next two sales. The first bag is going to be a sack bag, the sack bag. It's a pebbled leather stitched purse, and it's sold for $23. I did pay $3.50 for this purse. It costs $6.43 to ship. Next item is going to be a Dallas Cowboys authentic cowboy football hat, and these are pretty popular. I do get them pretty often because the Cowboys are so great. And when I do get them, I normally sell them anywhere between $10 and $16. This particular hat sold for me for $10 in about 3 days, and so that was a good flip for sure. $3 to ship that one, and it doesn't cost much. I mean, you can pick up hats for 50 cents to a quarter at a garage sale, and I think I purchased that one at a garage sale for a quarter. December 5th is going to be the next few items. Vintage Platinum DSR small camera bag. Platinum is the brand. Vintage Platinum is the brand of this camera bag maker. Now they do make other satchels and stuff like that as well. It was a really well-made bag, and it was kind of masculine, and it did sell to a gentleman. For $20, I paid $2.40 for this bag, and it shipped for $6. So I had 8, made $12 or so. Next item is going to be the Sack chocolate brown leather boho bag. It sold for $24. I paid $3 for this bag, and it shipped out for $7.40. Next item is going to be a Payless vegan satchel purse, and it was a crossbody as well, and it had like these little tassels and stuff on it, and I really liked the bag. I normally am not going to pick up a Payless brand. It was vegan leather, which generally doesn't hold up very well to much use, and so when you see them secondhand, they just are destroyed for the most part. But I did pick this bag up for $1. It sold for $17, and it shipped for first class. It was $3.29 to ship. So made a couple bucks on that one. December 7th, the Ivory, the sack bag leather crossbody purse. Sold for $28. I paid $3 for this bag, and it shipped for $7.40. December 8th is going to be the next one. I sold a Fendi bag that day. Is just a mini shoulder purse, and it was in pretty good shape. If you didn't get to see it, it was actually in one of my haul videos, and I said I was going to have to clean it up, and I did. It had makeup smudges all over the exterior of it, but I was able to clean it up, make it look nice, and it sold for $79. I paid $3.50 for this bag, and it shipped for $4.90. Next one is going to be a Patricia Nash floral crossbody buckle bag. I had never heard of this brand before. Actually, one of the watchers in my community group said exactly what it was immediately, and she knew that the bags were pretty expensive. and it would sell for about $30, and it did indeed. It sold for $30 exactly. Now it did have a little bit of damage on the strap, and it kind of looked like it had maybe snagged on something, and when it did, it just kind of ripped the side of the strap. But it still sold nevertheless, and the purchaser was very happy with the bag, and she even sent me a picture of her actually using the bag. So that was great. I paid $3.50 for that bag. It shipped for $5.49. December 10th is going to be a Kathy Van Zeeland Rustic Vegan Hobo Bag, and it sold for $21. That particular bag, according to my notes, I paid $2.75 for at a garage sale. It sold for $21. The shipping on it was $6.49. December 11th, I sold one item. It was a pair of Crocs women's, they're called Karen Clog, and it's like a Mary Jane style. And it has a strap that goes over the top of your foot, and then another that goes on the back of your heel. Croc shoes sell pretty well for me. They are pretty expensive. They do last a long time. And for the most part, you can get them used, and they're in good sellable shape still. Just take a hot water and then like a cloth, wipe them off real well, and sometimes you might want to get like a little alcohol wipe and wipe them. From my experience, they come pretty clean. So next item is going to be a Coach brown leather Turnlock flat bag, and this was a really cute. It was a full leather bag, brown, and it sold for $45, and I paid $3.50 for it, and it cost me $6.49 to ship it. The next one is going to be a Tignanello, and I don't know if I'm saying that right, so if I'm not, just correct me down below. I appreciate it. It was just a regular black leather purse. I sold it for $18. Now these are really a go-to brand for me. They are very popular at most Goodwills in my area, and they hold up pretty well. Now they do have a Tig & Co., which is their lower end brand, and they'll have a little bit more vegan stuff. When I say vegan, I mean pleather or fake leather, vinyl, or any other synthetic material made to look like leather. The item I have for you is going to be on December 17th, and that was a lovely Prada bag. It was a suede bag, and it was also featured in my last thrift haul, I believe a couple of weeks ago on my Facebook group. I did have to clean it pretty extensively. It did require a little bit of trimming around the handle and such, but it did turn out very well. It sold for $100. I paid $3.50 for it, and it cost me 10% of $100 to sell it, and then it cost me another $8 to ship it. So I had $80 in it total that I got to stick in my pocket. The next item is going to be December 19th, and that item is a Fossil Turnlock flat crossbody bag. Now this crossbody bag sold for $20, and it was in good shape, brown, good quality leather, and I paid $3 for it, and it shipped for $4. Insurance on it. So if something were to happen to those, all I would have to do is make a claim. It might take a couple of weeks, but I would get the amount that they sold for from USPS. Okay, next item is going to be December 21st, and that day I sold a pair of Gucci leather Diamante leather loafers. They were size 7.5, and they were sold for $75. I picked these up at a thrift store. I paid $30 for them myself. They were really, really pretty, and according to my notes, it cost me $8 to ship them. And when I ship, I get a tracking number. I know when it's been delivered to the buyer. Next item was going to be a bra. I do not know how to say this brand, so correct me if you know how to say it. I want to say it's Cacique, but it was a cream ivory floral with a floral design on the breast. It was a full bra, just a regular T-strap, and it was a 38 double D, which is a good size for me. It does sell well. Anything in the larger Ds, triple Ds, or Fs, and if they're any size between a 32 and a 44, they sell really, really well. Bras are very, very expensive. I have some that I need to list now. I've got about 50 bras to list, and a lot of them are new with tags. I hit a jackpot of bras, and so I'm excited to list them. They're super easy to list and they sell well. So most ladies know their size and they know the brand that they want to buy, and so when they do shop used, they're gonna know immediately how it fits, and they're gonna know the style and the way the brand fits them. So next item is going to be December 23rd, and I sold an Elgin 15 jewel plated pocket watch. Now this particular watch was not in good shape. It was a parts only piece. Normally they're going to sell for about 100, 150, all the way up to about 400 or 500 if they're real gold. The case actually could be worth more maybe in scrap than the watch itself is worth. So keep an eye out when you do go to thrift stores and estate sales and auctions. Any kind of pocket watches, you know, even the plated ones sell well. They don't have to work. There are plenty of watchmakers out there and watch collectors that they're not going to carry it, and so it's just something that is a collector's item for them. Maybe they're going to take the parts from one and put in another so that they do have a fully functional watch, and maybe they're a reseller that just needs the parts from the watch in order to put 1 and 2 watches together to make one working one. Next item is going to be a vintage Gillette 60s adjustable razor lot. I believe there were 4 in this lot. You'll have to check up here. And this particular lot here, immediately I had someone message me on Facebook on our personal Elliot's Estate Sales Facebook and say, you have those priced too low. You know, those sell for 50 bucks a piece, 30 bucks a piece. And I can't tell you enough that if you get something really cheap, that rather than just sit on the money, and I used to be the type of person that would just literally, if you, it's solid, no prices, no wheeling and dealing or anything like that. And that's great if that's in your business model and you know, you want to be able to hold on to things for the longest. But for me, I got these for $1. It was actually included in a lot of someone that was closing their estate sale, and they didn't want any of this stuff. They didn't care. They wanted to get rid of it. Bought a small little curio dresser, and this was actually in the curio dresser. So that being said, I sold them for $55. They cost me almost nothing, and I profited about $45 after all fees and you know, the shipping and stuff were included. Now I do like to sell free shipping on all of my items. Most of the platforms that I sell are going to be free shipping on all items. We live in an Amazon world. We live in a Walmart world where online things can be shipped to your door in 2 days. And free shipping, especially if you're an Amazon Prime member, and most folks do have an Amazon Prime membership. So keep that in mind when you're selling, and when you also are buying things. You need to not only budget in the factor of the cost of buying the item to resell, but you also need to factor in the cost of goods as well as shipping. And shipping, packaging, the little boxes, the bubbles, the wrapping, the time to wrap it. Make sure it's worth your time before you pick it up. Next item is going to be a Coach Soho black hobo style leather bag. This was a vintage purse. I had to clean it up a lot. It was pretty dirty. This was also in one of the haul videos that I provided for you all after I went shopping at Goodwill. I got this bag for $3.50. It did have real brass hardware. Everything was labeled. It was a vintage bag, and it was a really nice bag. Now I did have to stain the leather. I did have to polish it. There were a couple of scuff marks as well that needed a little bit more work. I had to clean the interior of it. It looked brand new when I was completely done with it. And it did sell, and the buyer was super happy with it. Sold for $32, and I paid $3.50 for it. Cost me $8 to ship it. Next is going to be December 26th. It is a sterling silver turquoise bracelet. It was 7.5 inches in length, and I sold it for $52. I paid $15 for this, 50% off at a local estate sale here in Oklahoma City, and it sold within 4 days. Now, it was heavily tarnished when I got it, and I had to treat the sterling, and I had to let it sit overnight. Someone definitely enjoyed it at one time or another, and it cleaned up really well. And as you can see from the picture here, it was a pretty cute piece, unique, and it was unisex as well, and I think a gentleman actually bought it. So, $52 on that one. Vintage Seiko chronograph stopwatch. Now, this was a vintage piece, and it was a pretty good looking watch. You don't normally find these often that actually still work and are in good shape. A lot of times they're really beaten up, the face is all scratched up, etc. This watch sold for $52. It shipped first class. It cost me $4 to get it to them. I believe they lived in Oklahoma. I think they're a subscriber. So appreciate your business. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy your watch. December 27th is a Calvin Klein Tim, model Tim leather loafer, and they were chocolate brown, size 10.5 medium. They went for $29. This pair cost me $2.25. It shipped out for $7.59. Next is going to be this Victorionox Tinker Swiss Army multiple knife. It had a lot of different attachments on it. It was vintage and it sold for $16. I paid $1 for it. It shipped for $3 to someone else here in Oklahoma. Thank you again for your business. December 28th was a 1984 gem-proof Los Angeles Olympic coin set. Now I picked this up at a garage sale for 50 cents. It sold for $30. It shipped for $4. And I made about $21 after all the fees. MERCARI does charge 10% to list, and all of my items are free shipping. So when I tell you these numbers, make sure that you know that I paid anywhere between 3 to 5 first class and as high as 5 to maybe at the most $9 to ship priority. And priority is generally a 2-day service, as long as you can get to the post office before they close normally. So now this is December, there was a little bit of delays with mail service, and so there's tons and tons of people out at the post office. You've got millions and millions of packages all going out to friends and family for Christmas presents and going all over the world. So I think they did a really great job. I didn't have any complaints for any late packages. And everybody's had a great experience in December. I haven't had any returns, and so it's been a great month for me. Next is going to be a American Historic Society pocket watch. Now, this particular watch was just a kind of a vintage. It maybe cost $50 new, and it was a pretty good looking watch in good shape. And I sold it for $19. It shipped out for $3.55. So made a little bit of money on that one. December 19th is going to be a Charming Charlie vegan burgundy tote, and it was a good looking tote. I don't normally pick up Charming Charlie. They don't sell well. Charming Charlie was a really fast fashion type place like Vanity or Charlotte Russe, Forever 21, etc. And for the most part, those businesses are on the way out, as then they're no longer in business, or they're not profitable. And so they sell super cheap items that are going to be sold to someone that's going to carry it for maybe a month if it lasts that long, and then they're going to get rid of it. And if you don't believe me, mark my words. You'll find plenty of bags that you go, ooh, this looks nice, and then you'll pick it up and it'll be completely trash, and it's a Charming Charlie. So they do not make good products for the longevity, for sure. But they're priced appropriate. Now, this particular bag I picked up because it was a good-looking bag, had gold zipper, and I really liked it, and I didn't have to do a lot of work on it. I just kind of had to trim some of the seams up, clean the interior, and it was good to go. It sold really quickly. It sold for $20, and we're on December 29th, by the way, December 29th. Next item is going to be a World War II United States Merchant Marine medal. It sold for $85, and it was in not really that good of shape. If it hadn't have been so beat up, it probably would have sold a lot sooner. And I did pick this up also from an estate sale. I believe the same estate sale that I fetched the other items that I listed as well. According to my notes, it sold for $85, and it shipped for $3.29. So it made a little bit of money on that one. Next, on the December 29th, is going to be a 1986 U.S. Silver Eagle dollar coin. And this particular piece here was a gift to me from someone that didn't know that I already had this one. Literally, I have this one. I do collect coins that are sealed and that have not been in currency that are from 1986. 86 was when I was born, and I do collect a lot of coins from 1986. Now, I sold this for $45. They paid $10 for it at an estate sale, and so I made a little bit of money on that, and it shipped out for $2.29. Next is going to be an antique vintage miscellaneous lot of watches, and I don't believe any of them were functional. They could have been. One of them was wine, the rest were batteries. And it was a lot, I believe, of 4. I'm not looking at the picture now, but I'll post it up here. And it was $24 is what it sold for. Next is going to be a vintage sterling silver amber necklace for $21. This actually was at one of my estate sales, and no one purchased it, so I purchased it from the family. I paid $1 for it, and this was one of those sales that literally everything in my entire estate sale the 30 minutes before we were going to close, everything in the home was $1, and this particular piece was not selected. And when we did the clean out, I purchased it from the home. So it sold for $21, and when it did, I profited about $16 after shipping and costs. December 30th, Coach Signature C Mini Crossbody. It was pink. These generally sell a little bit higher than this particular piece did. It did sell for $13, but this one looked like it had a lot of wear, maybe for somebody wearing it and it rubbing against their shoulder or their side. And so it did have a little wear on one side. I had to disclose that. It was in the photos, and it did sell in about a month, but it only sold for $13. Now, I did make about $8 on that after shipping and fees, so good, got my money back. I only paid about $3 for that bag. Antique brass steel skeleton clock key lot. Now, this particular lot, I want to say they had about 8 keys in it. A couple of them are really cool. Some of them look like maybe skeleton keys, but some of them also look like just mantle clock keys. And so that lot sold for $25. It cost me $4.25 to ship it, and I paid nothing for the entire bag. They were included in the same cabinet that the razors that are in this list were in. So good on that. And then, let's see, December 31st, the last day of the month, I sold 2 items on MERCARI, and it was a Mary DeMarco B rhinestone bracelet. If you're not familiar with this costume designer, please look her up. Her stuff sells for pretty good money, 50, 60 bucks a pop, even when it's pre-owned. It has a lot of detail on it, and it will have lots of little intricate pieces to it. Generally, they're really cool looking. And this particular one I actually found at Goodwill. It was $2.25. I immediately noticed the brand, the maker. I inspected it, made sure it was missing no rhinestones and was functional. And I picked it up, sold for $28. It cost me $3 to ship it, and I made a little bit of money on that one as well. The next item is going to be a mini Tonka beige suede crossbody for $18. I paid $2.29 for it, and it shipped out for, looks like about $7. I think I had to pack it pretty well. I don't think I had any boxes to put it in, so it cost me a little bit more to ship that one. However, this month, it looks like, adding everything up, I sold $1,206 gross sales. Now, I did not add up the shipping, but I would approximate, just a guess, I would say I probably brought in about $800 just from December, just from MERCARI, and that's in my pocket. So, that being said, no taxes subtracted from that or anything. But after all the fees, immediate fees right out of my pocket, I made $800. And I would say that I spent no more than about $120, maybe $140 to make that. So I would say the margins were pretty good. And if you're interested in these videos, please comment down below and let me know. I do have, this is a part 1 of 4 videos that I'm going to be producing in this particular segment of what sold in December 2019, and I'll try to link the other videos down below when I get them done. I'm still editing them currently, and I will provide one with what sold in December on Poshmark, on eBay, and Amazon. So you'll get all 4 of the selling platforms that I sell on and what I brought in those particular months on those particular platforms. You'll be able to see the same as I'm showing you here, what the brands were, what it sold for, what it cost me, and what it shipped for. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great day. Get out there and hustle. Go find yourself something to make money on. And again, I'm Justin Elliott from Elliott's Estate Sales here in Oklahoma. Have a good day.